Good evening! Welcome to Zelda Speedruns and welcome to what I want to call the grand final week on Zelda Speedruns. Today we have Twilight Princess, tomorrow we have Discovered Sword 80%, Friday we have the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Tournament, and on Saturday there's another thing, I believe. There's so many conclusions of tournaments going on this week, and my TP, will make the debut. Twilight Princess 80% Tournament, we call it WolfDash, with the grand final, Kejsmaster versus Nimzo. Kejsmaster comes from winner brackets, so he has one game up. If he wins this one, he's through and he won the tournament. If not, there will be a game 2, not today, but in the next few days. Without further ado, let's mute the music and let's actually say hi to the two commentators for today, to Mr. Brugels and Simmykins. Hey!
Hello.
Good morning, good evening, hello.
How's
What's
it
up,
going,
guys?
everybody? Alright.
Thank you, Tris, for that grand introduction to this grand finale of WolfDash 2. Just so everyone's aware, this tournament has been going on for quite some time now,
Yes.
and I think we've all been really looking forward to this one. Not actually the people who I would have expected in grand finals at the start of this tournament. I know everyone, of course, was kind of assuming it'd be Kejsmaster and maybe Adam or Ace, since they were the other players with the fastest times at the start of the tournament. But Nimzo.
Yeah, Nimzo's really been pushing this game hard. He's really been improving fast. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, now their PBs, Nimzo and K's, are within, I want to say 20 seconds?
yes,
No,
it is.
30 seconds. And
Yes,
at
it
the
is
start of the
very
tournament,
close.
Nimzo had just gotten
Um,
sub 3, and he's now got a 55. So definitely the two players have been playing at the highest level in this tournament. And I
Yeah,
don't think Nimzo is going to let Case take this one easily. Case did beat him in winners finals. Here we go, starting off. So as Trez said, he has the winners bracket advantage. If he can win this today, whatever time it is for all of you, that'll be the end of WolfDash, and Case will be the champion. But if Nimzo takes it, well, then we're going to have to wait a little longer to find out.
yep. So, we should hopefully see a very close race from both of these runners. But anyways, so right at the start of the run here, we're actually going to bring this rock over to the gate here, and we're actually going to use it to clip out onto the other side, and then we can do a trick called Back in Time, which is basically going to let us play on the title screen and save that state to a file. Because the title screen is basically its own sort of dummy file, I guess, and it has certain properties, and we want to take advantage of those properties.
Both of them getting it to the gate on the second try and getting the safety back in time for the race back in time, we can say. Nimzo with like tiny lead. Also, just while we're in the slow start part, you'll see Kejsmaster's playing on German, Nimzo's playing on English, so that'll give Kejsmaster a 5.6 second advantage over the whole run, just from text.
So, Back in Time does quite a few things. For one, it gives us the tunic. It gives us the Ordon sword and the Hylian shield. Well, sort of, because none of them are actually in our inventory, but we have them anyways. And it also is going to set Ordon in a very certain state. So basically, one thing that Back in Time gives us is it makes Epona tamed. And Epona being tamed is what actually lets you wrestle Bo for the iron boots. So coming up in a little bit, that's actually we're actually going to be able to get the iron boots early because that flag has been set.
Yeah, and now through here, just rolling through to save Talo. This is the true test of any Twilight Princess speedrunner's rolling ability. If you have good rolls, you will just blitz through this area. If you miss a couple, suddenly you've lost like multiple seconds because of how laggy and full of slopes this area is.
Yeah, rolls are very important in Twilight Princess. Every frame that you're not rolling, you lose speed. So it's really important, especially like on slopes, to get frame perfect rolls. And unfortunately in Twilight Princess, there aren't really any other faster forms of movement. We have Epona and we have Wolf movement, but there isn't really any specific cool tech like, you know, Hessing, for example, in Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. So we'll mostly just be rolling around or dashing.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh, the rolls up that slope are almost so good for Chaos. And both of them almost dead tied actually at cage break.
Yeah, both of them had pretty good cage breaks. With safety back in time, usually around 410 is good. So very nice from both of them.
Now I'm expecting to see one of them pull ahead of the other now because we have goats. These 20 goats, they don't like to cooperate all the time. Their sensitivity to you is random. But they're going to be trying to work around that, herding them as efficiently as possible into the barn. Nimzo off to a good start. Case as well.
Yeah, the goats can be really finicky. I believe it's
okay.
RNG how sensitive they are.
Getting trolled.
Yeah. So sometimes the goats can, sometimes they're really, really sensitive. Like, you can be pretty far away and they'll start running away from you for no reason. And sometimes you have to get, like, super duper close. So it can be a little inconsistent, but usually doing the same thing every time can get you similar results.
Yeah, you have to really adapt to how the goats react to you, though. That time, Nimzo did not have a good spread. And right there, Case pulls ahead by almost 20 seconds.
So right here we have Bo. Bo is very, very annoying. It's pretty much just rock, paper, scissors, but with mashing. You have to wrestle Bo twice. The first time he can either slap, grab, dodge, or do nothing. And the second time it just removes his option of doing nothing to make it a little bit harder. But it's just RNG.
But on top of that RNG, it'll only work in your favor if you can mash upwards of 12 times per second. So,
yep. So pretty annoying.
Phase 1, Bo giving Keze perfect.
Yes, very nice. You want to slap once and then mash. Yeah, slap once and then grab. And it's pretty unfortunate that it's so early in the run, especially in a race, because it can just really desync players really, really quickly. But fortunately, it's not too terrible. There are, I guess there are other parts of RNG in the first 30 minutes that people can use to catch up once again.
Yeah, so if you missed the very beginning, each of them have the Hylian Shield and Orden Sword and Hero's Clothes already because of a glitch done at the start called Back in Time that Trez just explained very nicely in chat. K's with a 730, Nimzo 744 Iron Boots, only 15-second difference now. Well, 14-second difference.
Yeah, which is honestly not that terrible.
Yeah, coming out of bow. Also, let's be clear, 744. I mean, both of these guys would probably reset on that in
Yeah,
attempts,
but
that's a fun
in a race,
time in a race.
Yeah, for sure. Usually, I'd say anything under 8 minutes in a race is good. Just because, I mean, you can just really get trolled by bow, so...
Also, take
under
note
8
of the
minutes is
save
usually
they
good.
each just made. That'll be relevant in a little bit.
Yes. It's not just like a safety save or anything, it's actually very important to the run, so we'll talk more about that when we get to it, I guess.
Yeah,
but now
we get our first transformation.
Yes, we are becoming a wolf here, and right at the start there's a little trick called box break. It's pretty difficult to pull off, but if they get it, it saves 3 frames. You can actually break the box here before being released from the chain completely, and Case got it there. Also, you can know if your rolls are frame perfect by looking at the HUD, like the X, Y, A, B button in the top right. If in between rolls it stays like sort of dimmed out, then you're getting frame perfect rolls. If it like pops back in, then it's not frame perfect.
Just rolling well is the core of human link movement over the long distances.
Yep.
But with wolf link in areas like this, enter dash cancelling. So normally when you dash, there's a small refresh, whether or not you stop. But if you cancel the dash at the very start with, I don't know, a B attack, a bonk, running off a ledge, you'll get it back instantly. So they're both going to be spacing out their dashes very precisely here to maximize their speed through the entire area. Oh, I know exactly who I'm rooting for. Just there, dash into a B attack down that ledge to keep his dash so he can continue running at full speed. On Kejsmaster's side, that is. We'll see it again from Nimzo. Dash cancel.
Yeah, right there. So, coming up in this next area, we have some small time savers. Case missed it there, unfortunately, but almost got it. If you jump off to the left there, just a little bit, you can actually knock down the rocks, but get past the text trigger. Nimzo pulled it off right there.
So that's about a couple seconds gained.
Yes. And also, when you do the midnight jumps, if there's text before the midnight jump, you have 1 frame after clearing the text to actually go to where midnight is. Otherwise, you have to wait like a second. So every time they get frame perfect, right there, Case just got it. Jumping just a little bit before midnight gets to the spot,
right
so you
here,
can just save a little time.
K's missing again another midnight text skip, so there's another chance for them to gain back a couple seconds and to demonstrate for all of you the text that we are skipping. So K's got it. Nimzo
unfortunately
also
missed it, but yes, it is possible to jump attack out of that text after the cutscene, though it is frame perfect.
Unless someone goes for something really silly like one bomb, I don't see either of these guys drowning to Morphil. Both of these two, they have been playing at an obscenely high level lately.
Yeah.
So I really hope this race turns out well. And the Kagarok's giving a little bop. Seems to be on Nimzo's side.
And coming up here in just a little bit, we will be seeing probably the most infamous trick in Twilight Princess speedrunning. It's known as Sword and Shield Skip. And the reason it's so infamous is because there's some RNG elements to it, and it's extremely precise. So yeah, it's position precise, it's, you know, timing precise. So it's just very difficult to do this trick. So basically, because of back in time at the start of the run, it puts Ordon in this advanced state, and we actually can't go back and get the sword and shield. And outside of the Wall of Twilight,
both of them
there's
getting almost the exact same spawn.
Yeah. So in front of the Wall of Twilight, there's two triggers. There's a trigger on the ground and a sort of like a wall-like trigger behind that. And the one on the ground, Midna says, hey, go back and get the sword and shield. And the one in the air, she will take you into the Twilight. So we need to use this Bulblin, which we have named Hugo, to do a trick known as a long jump attack, which we will talk more about later. But for now, we need to use him to actually get over the first trigger. Case unfortunately
missed it. Too steep of an angle.
Which, if Nimzo gets this first try, will have quite a bit of a lead. But we need to use Hugo. Yes, Nimzo getting it. Very, very nice. We need to use Hugo to get over the trigger where Midna says, hey, go back and get the sword and shield, and hit the trigger where she actually takes us into the Twilight. Because, like I said before, because Ordon's in this advanced state, even if we wanted to, we actually can't even go get the sword and shield. So this trick is required in any percent.
Yeah, so I'd say that's probably about a minute, give or take, given what luck Hugo might give the second time around for Case, which is pretty significant at this level of the WolfDash tournament.
Yeah, it's a little. I believe it's over a minute of time loss for failing sword and shield skip. I guess depending on how you fail it initially, but
very fast second try, and it misses.
Unfortunately, missing it again.
I'm sure he would have been rushing that to try and catch up, but
yeah, if he did get it there, he would have been about a minute behind Nimzo, given the lead that he had before. But that is quite unfortunate. Nimzo is going to have to make a big mistake for Case to catch up. But the race is definitely not over yet. Twilight Princess is about a 3-hour speed run, so.
Oh yeah, there's a lot that can happen though. I think Nimzo is gonna do his very best to just run with this lead the whole way. You see Nimzo now ignoring all these bugs because the fastest route completely ignores clearing Elden Twilight. So he's just on his way.
You mean
racing.
Farron?
Excuse me, Farron Twilight. No, we do have to do Elden Twilight and Linear Twilight. He's on his way to visit our friend, the Shadow Beast, Jamal.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Kay is having a pretty unfortunate Hugo position. Is he going to go for that? Okay, there it is. So that's
alright, getting it.
A third try.
Third try, which is definitely not the greatest, but certainly not unheard of. Like I said before, this trick is very, very difficult and precise, so.
Yeah, so that's about a 2 minute 20 second lead for Nimzo. This will be pretty difficult to come back from, but.
Yes, it will be quite difficult to come back from, but race is definitely not over yet. So Nimzo is going to go off to the side here, and we are going to use this Shadow Beast to actually get up out of bounds. Oh, unfortunately, missing it. But we can use the Shadow Beast to get out of bounds and actually navigate all the way over to the Sacred Grove, which will allow us to get the Master Sword early, which is very, very, very good.
Alright.
The Master Sword opens up, second try, The Master Sword opens up so much. It allows us to transform wherever we want, even in Twilights, and it allows us to warp, and it just saves time all around. It's just a really important sequence break.
Yeah, it's pretty core to the original version speedrun of this game. Patched in several ways in the HD version. But that second try on nimzo's end gives Kejs about 15-20 seconds that he could make up. There is some luck involved as well, of course, with which swing the Shadow Beast gives. Gave Nimzo 2 good swings, which is fortunate. Yeah, RNG does not discriminate, so...
I believe Sword and Shield skip is close to frame perfect. It's not usually just one frame, but
yeah,
it is.
It's one of those tricks where it's so dynamic that talking about frame perfect or not is kind of irrelevant because it's more having to adapt to exactly.
Yeah, it is. It's just very timing precise. Because of the way that LJs work. But regardless,
having a try at EMS now. Bad swing.
Unfortunately,
he only has one heart, so he has to just take it.
Unfortunate. He's not even gonna reset up. He's just gonna
retry.
go
That's
right
a
from
pretty good
here.
Positioning, though.
Unfortunately, missing it.
I think that was a good swing, but
yeah.
Probably gonna go for a quick retry again because at this point he's fine to stay even with Nimzo on this segment. Okay, there it is.
There we go. Very nice.
Yeah, that's right. There's no way we're doing 2 3-hour races back to back.
Yeah,
Not to say there will be a second, but it's definitely on the table.
So here in the Skull Kid fight, you only want to kill one of the puppets because you need to attack Skull Kid when he's blowing his horn, and to make that happen, just one of them needs to be dead, and killing more of them gives you more lag frames. So it's just best to just kill one. And coming up here is the Master Sword puzzle, which is actually, it works, the solution for it works even if you mirror it. So for people like Simikins who run the Wii version, you actually don't have to learn a different pattern because it works the same.
Yeah, small optimizations in this Kid chase on Kejsmaster's side. You can see he completely cleared the water in that jump. And there'll be another little jump up here where Skull Kid, you can see him just up there. He'll be trying to fall down while he attacks him, so that he doesn't grab the ledge. He can run instantly afterwards.
So, Nimzo going to pick up the Master Sword here. The Master Sword cutscene is almost exactly 2 minutes from pressing A to pick up the sword to gaining control of Link. So, yes. And a 21:55, like most things in a race, certainly not the greatest ever, but definitely good for a race. I would say Anything sub 22 is quite good for a race.
Yeah, also notice just collecting any stray rupees they can, any greens that are lying on the ground, they'll pick them up while they have the time. Because over this whole run, we're trying to get up to 300. Obviously, that won't all be from stray greens. There are 2 orange rupees, which are 100 each, that we'll be getting. Or they'll be getting, rather. And some red rupees, which are 20 each in arbiters. But
Yep.
trying to build up to 40, maybe even 60, with the random drops. And some consistent ones that are routed in. I mean, they can both be pretty efficient with which rupees they collect, so 60 before arbiters is pretty unlikely.
Yeah,
but as long as they can get to 40, then they're pretty safe.
Yep. Six, 60 would honestly be kind of ridiculous. Getting 60 is really, really good, and it'll definitely save quite a bit of time.
Well, it saves like 3 seconds from skipping one red rupee, but
yeah,
yeah.
it only saves, but you know, any time save you can get is good, and especially at these players' levels, any time save is worth it.
Well, I guess the good thing about them being out of sync by about 2 minutes is that when one finishes the cutscene, the other enters it, and we can talk about something other than the cutscene. So, Nimzo now walking back to South Baron. And now we'll be on his way to Forest Temple. Not to beat it, but to get the dungeon item, the Gale Boomerang.
Yes, so we actually don't have to beat Forest Temple. We will also not be beating Goron Mines. The only of the three
we will not
that we
see
have to beat.
at all Goron Mines or Temple of Time.
Yes, the only 3 of the first 3 dungeons that we have to beat is the Lakebed Temple. Yeah, so we're going to be skipping quite a few dungeons. And this fog right here, so this is, I would say, the first use of the Master Sword. So we can actually transform to the, even in the Twilight here. We can actually use the lantern to get through that area much, much quicker than it would be to use Midna and jump all the way through. And then this time around, we just want to kill the Shadow Beast.
Which are actually cooperating. That's surprising. And then Nimzo now heading up to the entrance of Forest Temple, where we're going to see back in time a second time.
Yes, because we are going to be doing something known as back in time equipped to get something known as boss flags.
For the purpose of early monkeys.
Yes.
And something else later on, but...
So, we can actually get very, very close to the loading zone here, and then we can actually jump attack out of bounds. Nimzo getting it there, first try. Very nice. And we can actually do back in time with the Void out of bounds in Forest Temple there. And we can jump into the Void and sort of go to the file select at the same time, and we can select that file that we saved earlier right after getting the Iron Boots, and that's going to put us in the King Baldwin fight. And then by resetting and skipping the cutscene as we reset, that's going to give us boss flags, which is partially tied to how many monkeys we have in Forest Temple. So normally you'd have to get 4 monkeys in Forest Temple to get to the boomerang, but because of all that random stuff that we just did, we are actually going to be able to go straight to the boomerang, which is very, very nice and saves quite a bit of time.
And that boss flag will remain in memory just for a little bit longer until later on in the run we'll see it used completely again.
Yes.
And Nimzo opting to try and skip that spider, but it did not turn the right way. And the nut broke.
Unfortunately, he's gonna have
So
to
he's
skip
now
it anyways.
forced to skip the spider. Okay, it's turned away now. You can also kill these spiders by luring them down low and then jump attacking them as Wolf, but...
The top one is much more difficult to do that with, though.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't like to go down on the vines past a certain point. So sometimes it can be quite difficult to lure it down.
Yeah, so these two actually faced off in winners finals, and in that match, Kejsmaster took the W, as they say. So if he wins now in grand finals, he's on the winner's side, Nimzo's on the loser's side, then that'll be the tournament over.
So yeah, there as you saw Nimzo, the monkeys just sort of appeared, and let him go straight to the new boss here, which is Ook. So Ook,
Kejsmaster getting early frame back in time.
yes,
There we go.
very, very nice. But so Ook is RNG. The amount of times that he hop twice. Nimzo got 4, which is 4 hops, which is pretty average, honestly. So pretty good Ook fight. And Kejsmaster will soon be coming up on the same thing.
Yeah, so if he gets good luck and decides to go for it, he can save a little bit of time on Nimzo by skipping that spider without first having the nut break on him.
So the boomerang is a little weird. For whatever reason, they made the boomerang talk to you there.
Nah, not gonna skip that.
And it only talks to you that one time, and no other item in the game talks to you. So I don't know why they did that. But anyways, we now have the boomerang, which is quite probably the most broken item in Twilight Princess.
In Twilight Princess GameCube and HD, let's clarify.
Yes, to be clear. Because we can actually use the boomerang to do what's known as a long jump attack, pretty much wherever we want. So long jump attack is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, a jump attack that lets you go long distances by throwing the boomerang, by having the boomerang either over a void or over ground that is higher than Link. And we can jump attack towards it and use it to do some skips. So coming up right here, you'll see Nimzo. We are actually going to be making use of that almost right away. So normally you have to beat Fair and Twilight and beat the Forest Temple to get out of Farron. But we can get close to this trigger where Midna tells you to go back, and we can use the boomerang. We can use the boomerang to long jump attack over the trigger and escape the forest.
Yeah, and there are setups to get into position there because it is very precise, but they don't need them. They just walk up
It's
and do it.
faster to do it setupless, although it's quite difficult.
Here as well, running up to a very specific splotch on the wall. Because right here, actually, there's a mailman trigger. And obviously that's slow because the mailman freezes everything in the game. So just jumping clean over that.
Yep.
This time with an out of bounds boomerang throw.
Yeah, because out of bounds counts as a void, which means we can use it to do long jump attack.
So Kejs did save about 10 seconds over Nimzo in that little sequence. About 2 minutes, a bit over 2 minutes behind now. But yes, now we are approaching another of the most infamous tricks in Twilight Princess. Not infamous because of its, well, I guess precision and difficulty, but just because of the fact that there is one single frame after killing the Shadow Beasts up ahead that Nimzo's approaching, where you can jump attack before Minter talks to you and get into the void, which, due to just different routing, ends up being a minute faster than not getting it. So let's see. Nimzo missing it.
Unfortunately.
So that'll give Kejs an opportunity to gain back a full minute.
Yep. So it's quite unfortunate. It's really annoying. It's just one frame, and there's not much you can do about it.
So Nimzo now will get to see a different route. Well, we don't know if Kejs will get it yet, but Nimzo probably gonna head straight to Eldon. No, early Snow Peak with the Wolfdash super jump is only a big deal really for the HD version of the game, because they didn't have any other method to do that. GameCube and Wii, we've had map glitch for many years.
Yeah, which we can, I guess we'll talk more about when we get there. But yeah, all you need to know is, no, we're not going to be doing the Wolfdash jump.
But yes, we are going to be going to Snow Peak early.
Yes, we are going to be going to Snow Peak early, just not with the Wolfdash jump. But so now, Nimzo is going to be heading to Lineru. And there's a gate here, and we can just kind of get through it. Most gates aren't really real, so to speak, in Twilight Princess. So hopefully Nimzo will get that first try in quick. It's pretty easy. The angle for it is quite lenient.
And one side hop is through.
Very, very nice. And right here, right after that, Nimzo is going to be doing a glitch known as Pillar Clip.
But first,
before I explain
let's all
that,
just watch Kejsmaster's screen, because this is where he could make up half of his deficit right now. And he gets it.
Very, very, very nice. Alright, so Kejs should be saving. He should be able to take back 1 minute. And that'll be very, very good. But right here, so Nimzo is going over here.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess
Pillar Clip
we'll
and
talk about
roll
Pillar
at
Clip
the same
first.
time.
Let's talk about Rupee Roll first. So Kejs is going to use this Rupee here and jump attack onto the fence. And the Rupee text is going to reset Link's animation and will actually let us roll over to the other side.
Both of them getting their tricks.
Yes.
So,
and then we can go over here and use the boomerang to do a long jump attack over the void. And we have to do that because the bridge is actually missing, and the only way to warp it is to beat Forest Temple and clear Fair and Twilight, which is very, very slow. So we are able to skip that. And Kejs is going to be getting the warp portal in Kakariko, and then actually go back and hit the trigger, because that's what gives us map warping, which is important. And then he will be doing the stuff that Nimzo is doing. So now, getting to Nimzo, Simiakins, do you want to explain Pillar Clip?
Oh, we've been and gone. We can talk about that when Kejs gets there.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
As a result of it, Nimzo is now in Lakebed earlier than you're supposed to be, clearly. Without bombs,
Yes.
he can't knock down these stealth attacks, but the boomerang gets him past that just fine. Also, it's going to be a bit hard to tell who's ahead and who's behind for a little bit, just because they're doing completely different routes, but once they both get to Elden Twilight and start the Elden Twilight. That's kind of a convergence point of the routes.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay, we're good. No King Goblin fighting here. We're safe.
Yep. So Nimzo here is actually going to have to get Uku because in any percent, well, in this route, we are actually not going to be getting the Zora armor. And later, we will need a way of getting back into Lakebed. Because we're actually not going to be beating it right now because we can't. And so we're going to need a way back into Lakebed. And so we grab Uku to let us do that.
Uku, who will also be helping us in getting the bombs we need to defeat Morpheal.
Yes.
And Zant later on, but get there when we get there.
And Lakebed is honestly, well, it might be torture casually. In a speedrun, it's actually pretty cool because it's just full of LJs and cool movement. So I think it's pretty fun in a speedrun.
And also right here, this is normally the exit from Deku Toad, but because of the remnant of early boss flags from Honey Monkeys, from behind this gate, Nimzo's just going to look at the ceiling and get warped into the fight. And now Kejsmaster also will be heading off to the Nehru.
So Deku Toad, normally you have to do, I believe it's 3 cycles, but we can actually do Deku Toad in 1
Just
with
like that.
some precise sword slashes. Very, very nice from Nimzo there. So by doing 10 individual slashes, we can actually take Deku Toad out in 1 cycle. It's quite precise. Depending on how you do the slashes, there's different frame windows, but it's pretty tight overall. So very nice.
Barely make it through before those goblins would have started to really screw with them. So I guess now we can talk about Pillar Clip.
Yes.
And
so
immense pressure on Kejsmaster to get it. First try, setup list, early sync.
So Pillar Clip basically allows us to get into Lakebed early, and we do have to do it now. One thing that's two things that allow us to do it are having the Master Sword early and having the Iron Boots early, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do this right now.
And the water level being low.
Yes, so the water level, the reason we have to do it now is because the water level is low in Lake Hylia, and without the Zora armor, we have a limited amount of air. So with the water level being low, that actually gives us just enough time to slip out using this pillar here and make it to the loading zone without drowning. And then we can just save warp. And that was quite close, but very nice getting it first try. And save warping here normally, if you just have the Ordon sword, then it would just put you at the start of the tunnel there, and we would have no way of getting into Lakebed. But for whatever reason, because we have the Master Sword, it actually warps us to the end. So here, Nimzo is going to be fighting the Kargarok, and most enemies, when they touch water, die instantly. So instead of knocking the Bulblin off the Kargarok and then killing it, we're actually going to be luring the Kargarok down into the water here, so that the Bulblin touches the water and dies instantly, and pretty much skips the whole fight.
Saves about 10 seconds over doing the fight as a wolf.
Yep.
And it does also mean that you have to transform at the start of this Kargarok flight, otherwise you'll have a very strange camera throughout. Which would make doing this trick, clipping out of bounds here, quite difficult. And as everyone likes to use to visualize the time save of this trick, on the minimap in the bottom left corner of Nimzo's screen, you can see the path for the flight is normally kind of curved, but from out of bounds, you can just cut that straight and go directly to the end. That's about 5 seconds. Kay's doing all the same stuff Nimzo did before in Lakebed. Nimzo did it first, but Nimzo is also yet to get to Kakariko, so that's kind of why getting Gorge Void is nice, because you can get the portal in Kakariko Village, leave, do all this other stuff, and walk straight back.
Yep. So when Nimzo gets to the top of Zora's domain and gets the portal, Nimzo's going to have to warp to South Faron and make his way all the way back to Eldin, whereas once Case gets there, he will just be able to warp straight to Kakariko.
Gorge Void saves basically a minute flat, so, and Nimzo was about 2 minutes ahead, so, well, 2.5-ish. So that's just a bit of a comeback for K's in that respect. Also getting the 1 cycle as expected.
Yes. Very, very nice from both runners.
So now, as Bradle said, Nimzo having to walk back down to South Faron. He's going to have to do Faron Escape for a 3rd time. And
Yes.
head to Eldin again. Well, head to the Gorge again to do Rupee Roll.
Yunata, sort of depends how you fail it. There are multiple different things that can happen. So,
In this case,
there is
missing Gorge Void just means doing a different route, as Nimzo's been doing.
well, specifically for Gorge Skip, like Rupee Roll, if you fail the Rupee Roll part, there's a backup Rupee. If you fail the LJ over the Gorge, sometimes you can sort of land on the other side, but behind the fence, and there are some LJs you can do to get around to the other side. It's a little bit precise, and it's quite annoying, and you're going to lose some time, but I guess it's better than failing. You can't warp to the Gorge directly because the bridge isn't there, and there's no way to warp the bridge unless you beat Forest Temple, and you have to beat Forest Temple and clear Faron Twilight, which is very slow.
And also because of missing Gorge Void, Nimzo have to skip the mailman again.
Yes.
So, Rupee Roll Part 2.
I don't believe so. Yeah.
Probably will have crashed into the ceiling, attempting that clip, but crashing the game, I don't think anyone did that in the tournament.
Alright, so Nimzo got Rupee Roll and should get the LJ over the Gorge. Yes, very nice. I don't remember if we mentioned before. I think it was mentioned in passing, but the reason that they take such a weird, they walk around in this area so weirdly, like go in a sort of circle, is because of back in time at the start. There's actually a trigger there that would make you fight King Bulblin 1, which we obviously do not want to do. So we run around the trigger.
Yeah, and I had a little gasp because Case
Yeah,
flipped on the wall and almost hit it.
Yeah.
And right here is where the routes converge. So Nimzo with a 48.22 golden vessel. Still a sizable lead over K's despite hitting it isn't actually the biggest deal because you can just kind of ignore it. Like you skip the cutscene, reload Eldon, and complete Twilight as normal. The only thing is that then later on, you'll be kind of stuck there with, I think it's Marlo, who constantly asking you to help.
Yeah,
Carlo,
and
I
believe...
No, Colin, sorry. And there's a backup you can just, normally when you go to warp Kakariko to clip through the statue to go to City in the Sky, rather than going in the sanctuary normally, you can just go into the graveyard, as Nimzo just did, and clip into the well.
Yes. You can transform into human. It's possible to just clip into the well there. We'll see it again from Case in a little bit. So right there, Case was able to just warp to Kakariko because he got the portal from before.
So, about a minute and a half still for Nimzo. In Elden Twilight now, there's a lot happening. Each of these, yeah, definitely close the gap. I mean, Gorge Void kind of helped him out a tiny bit there. But I mean, he's the one who pushed the A button, so let's be clear.
So right there, Case did the side hop into the well.
Both of these two are very, very good at Elden Twilight, so
yes,
hopefully they can both get a clean one. I expect them both to be going for the wolf method of Bomb House Skip, which we'll see shortly. But all of this Twilight clearing is simply to, well, obviously clear the Twilight, but the purpose of that is to get the meteor from up at Death Mountain to break the ice in Zora's Domain where they were earlier, to allow you to start with every Twilight, so you can start with every Twilight.
Yep. So right here,
Is that
Nimzo
Wolf
is...
Farmhouse Skip?
Yep.
Very clean.
Very nice, yeah. So that's actually pretty precise. And basically, we do that to be able to kill that bug before it goes in the house, which just makes the house disappear. And Yeah, there is a way to do it as human with some LJs with the boomerang, which is quite a bit easier. But Wolf Bomb House Skip saves a couple seconds, and it's much more difficult. But these runners are both very, very good at it.
And again, you'll notice anytime they can. No, it's a lot harder in HD because of no notches, so you can't hold directly up easily, and also more possible angles to move, so it's much harder to just jump forward. And I think speed, getting up to speed works a bit differently, so you have to stand really far back to get that jump. And so jumping is so steep of an angle and lands on the cliff. But also through here, anytime that they can, if they're waiting for the bug tier to become collectible, they'll be trying to get some stray rupees. So Nimzo up to 30, which should be pretty good for getting to 40 after Linearu. K's doing Wolfbomb House Skip as well now. Both making it look easy.
Nimzo should have grabbed the yellow rupee in the inn because he missed Gorge Void, so he would have not had to clear the rupee text.
That's true.
Not sure why he didn't.
Yeah, wanting to go for a trick and going for a trick is a little bit different, but also notice side hopping over the blue rupee there on K's side, because normally that would have text, but collecting it while in midair avoids that. And so making the early steam cycle there. Not quite as fast as it could have been because the shadow beasts weren't exactly perfect, but doesn't matter too much as long as you make it when that steam enters. Good. Kargarok getting caught in that minute charge as well. Seeing a little super jump. And not a bad album from Nimzo. But can K's do better? Making sure to try and get those shadow beasts to come near him so he doesn't have to run all the way across.
Yep.
And the power of the Hylian shield on Nimzo's side is completely blocking those meteors.
Yep.
And transforming human actually. K's making the cycle very early. 6:43! Spoilers!
So here we're going to be warping the rock to Zora's domain. Yeah, 6:43 is very, very good.
Oh my god.
Yes, Nimzo got it there. So
anyone's done in a run.
right there, Nimzo got a side hop right after warping the rock, and that side hop is actually out of a Midna text trigger. So we don't have to listen to Midna, but also that Midna text normally will make the water appear on the map, because I don't know why they tied it to that Midna text trigger, but if you look at the map, you'll see that the water, it doesn't look like there's a lot of water in Lake Hylia, and that's because Nimzo got the side hop.
I didn't know that until like 3 days ago. In fact, I think I even asked.
Yeah.
I normally, like almost all the time, I see the water there, but one time it wasn't there and it was really weird, and it's like, oh, It's because I just miss that one frame all the time.
Yeah.
Nimzo's ahead by about a minute 20, I want to say. Kay's caught up a little from that insane Elden. But also getting that one frame side hop.
Yes, very nice. Saving
Good
a
start
couple
to Maru
seconds.
for both of them.
Nimzo getting those Shadow Beasts very quickly, which is quite good. Those Shadow Beasts can be really, really annoying, and they sometimes just do not cooperate, and you can lose quite a bit of time to them, but fortunately, they were nice this time. Oh, Nimzo almost fell there. That would have been very bad.
Yeah, my heart rate went up just a little bit. Yeah, so Linear Twilight, a very long and pretty slow-paced part of the run. Also, very difficult to do well.
Yes.
Don't let the slow pace deceive you. Going into first person there to transform.
Yeah, going to first person there saves just a little bit of time. Because you don't have to wait
And
for
now,
the camera to pan around.
After skipping Rutella again, hopefully going to get a nice side hop down to where he wants to go. That might have been early. Okay, now he got it. Very smooth movement out of the waterfall. Also allowing you to get all those rupees. So Nimzo at 37, he's very well set to get to 40.
Yep.
As Bruggle said, had he gotten that yellow, maybe even 60. But that's done. Oh, I thought he was going to get the double. I wasn't paying close attention though.
Yeah, those were honestly, those lily pad bugs can really, really troll you. So Nimzo got quite good RNG.
Well, there's 40. That bush in particular can give you so many greens sometimes. So Nimzo is pretty set for rupees. Any more stray is just excess at this point unless he can get enough to skip another red. Okay, he's coming up to the side hop as well now. 3-frame window for this side hop, by the way, to get it on the correct level. That was early.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Having the core shot though, you can just core shot straight back up. About 10 seconds lost.
Yep.
2-hand grab though, so there's some positives. Just something to take note of for later. Anytime you core shot onto vines or grab a ledge in a certain way, Link will grab with either one hand or two hands, randomly. And grabbing with two hands is a full second faster, almost. Complete luck. So, hopefully we can see a lot of them.
Case also got pretty good RNG on those lily pad bugs.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can ask for without getting a double kill. Though, I guess, also note, again, about 1 million rupees coming out of that one bush. Okay, it's also at 40. Yeah, so both of them do not need to think about rupees anymore. Yeah, you could even say he robbed a bank.
So, probably the biggest reason why Linear Twilight is just as long as it is the bug all the way.
Didn't need any more rupees.
What was that?
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So the reason that Linear Twilight is as long as it is because of this bug that's all the way in Castletown. So, yeah, we just have to go all the way out here. It's really, really annoying and takes up quite a bit of time.
You know, I'd say 60 is a little better case, but that's not happening, so yeah. He's hit 40, he doesn't need any more. Any more strays, I should say. So he'll be getting 3 reds and arbiters, so will nimzo. And then the 2 orange rupees in Snow Peak. Get to 300 for the cannon to City in the Sky. Which won't be for quite some time. 60 is for the Zora armor route, where you can get 1200 from grass in the escort.
So, here we're going into the flying section. There are 4 bugs to get in here. And after we get those 4 bugs, instead of flying all the way to the top, we're actually just going to bonk to void out. And that's going to actually put us right next to the last bug that we have to get. So, yeah.
And obviously I haven't been watching nimzo super closely, because of course there are 2 runs happening, but from what I've seen it seems like it's been a pretty clean Linear so far.
Yeah, from both of them.
On nimzo's side, K's down about 10 seconds from that side up, but other than that, also pretty good. Also notice nimzo just skipping past that first bug because it kind of rubber bands back to in front of you. You can take a shorter path flying through. On K's side, you can manipulate that bug to fall down quickly so you can kill it by bonking into that corner. And making sure to collect the tier before warping away. Because you don't actually have the tier until it appears in the vessel on the right of the HUD. And also a small thing, which you can sometimes see with the lily pad bugs, but it's not that common, I guess, is these flying bugs. If they land on land, they'll explode faster than if they landed in water, so with that bug behind fire, you want to kill it so it lands on the wood rather than in the water. The tier will be collectible a second or 2 faster. So turning his camera and fanning at the edge of this wooden platform to try and manipulate the bug. Boss bug. But there's enough space to back up twice and get these early hits, interrupting him mid-flight. You can do that twice.
Unfortunately missing it there. But, not too terrible. Only a couple seconds. And then here, by going off the side of the bug, normally the game makes you, you know, jump back and forth across all 6 of them, all 6 of the tentacles. But by bonking on the side, it just skips the cutscene.
Yeah, pretty solid Elden. Not incredible, but very solid from nimzo. Probably be saving a bit of time over case. And now we'll be doing a fairly convoluted and maybe difficult to understand if you don't know exactly what's happening in the sequence to get bombs.
So right now, Nimzo is heading off to Upper Zora's River. And the first thing that we need to do once we're here is actually howl at the stone. And the reason is because, so normally, okay, so you have to get the ending blow to beat the game. It is possible to make it all the way to Ganon without doing it, without getting the ending blow, but it'll just say finish at the bottom of the screen and you won't be able to do anything. And normally you'd get the ending blow on your way to Forest Temple after clearing Fair and Twilight, but we never clear Fair and Twilight, so we have to get the ending blow from a different golden wolf. So we have to howl at the stone here to make the wolf appear somewhere.
Yeah, just to be clear, both of them will have the exact same route from here until the end. So everything you see Nimzo do, you'll see Kate do. And just having a couple seconds, sorry, Kay's saving a couple seconds to the Nimzo by not slipping on that corner. Little things.
Yep.
Oh no! Missing the quick spin there.
Oh.
So those Shadow
Unfortunately.
Beasts, you actually can't kill the last two unless you spin attack them. So even though he hit them both with the jump attack, the second one didn't die. So you have to go and do the fight again, because if you leave one alive, it respawns the rest of them. Well, revives. So again, an opportunity for Case to make up some time. But after doing that, Isa will say, "Thank you very much. Can you help me?" And she hands you some bombs, and then we leave.
Nimzo didn't drop the bombs before. I guess he's being a little merciful, not blowing up Isa before leaving.
I really hope that just means he's going to drop some more bombs later. Like right now? Okay, good.
Yeah, so we actually have to get rid of all of our bombs here because we need to fill our stolen bag with water bombs because we need to get a permanent bomb bag, a bag of our own. And if we didn't empty our bomb bag first, then we would not get water bombs from this chest here. So now we are going to leave Lakebed once again, and we are going to go to Zora's Domain and get the bomb bag from the Goron at the bottom. And
it is possible to get the bag that Isa gives you permanently. We don't have arrows, we don't have the bow, so we can't do it really easily. But it's also just slow, so it's easier to steal them with Uku and then get the Goron bag instead.
Yep. And the reason that we have to get a permanent bag, or I guess we have to get a bag of our own, is because the Lent bomb bag from Isa is actually not permanent. If we were to save warp or die,
or beat a dungeon,
then the bomb bag would actually go away, and that would be very bad because, like I said before, or I guess like we mentioned before, we are not getting the Zora armor. And how we're going to refill our air is with water bombs.
Also notice that text box in the middle just got pretty normal, pretty standard. The text scrolled past as you'd expect of an item. Not on
Yes.
German.
So Case is going to save a couple seconds there. But yeah, so we use water bombs to refill our air underwater, and we need that for more fuel, but also, just as importantly, we need them for Zant later, because Zant has his underwater phase. And if we didn't have water bombs and we didn't have the Zora armor, we would just die.
Yeah. And now we will be doing early Snow Peak, just not with that fancy new WolfDash super jump. We're doing the tried and true map glitch.
Yeah, so map glitch, essentially,
Also watch
what we do-
Kejsmaster mash through the text so fast. Instant. Go ahead.
Yep, so Kejsmaster saving a couple seconds there. So map glitch, what we do is call Midna and open up the map on the same frame, then try to warp away. And the warp will be interrupted by Midna talking to us, which will actually, and when you warp away, the first thing that happens is all of the loading zones in the area get disabled. So by Midna interrupting the warp, we can actually just run around here with all the loading zones disabled, including the void out loading zone. So we can just run up to the top of Snow Peak. Although there is a loading zone to the next area at the top of Snow Peak here, and if we tried to dig into it, then the game would actually just soft lock because it has. So what we're actually going to do is go up to this Howling Stone up here and howl at it to reload the area. We aren't going to be howling twice, just once, and then leaving
Also,
to reload the area.
we don't
and
use this stone,
reload
even
the
though we
zones.
have to howl at it because of map glitch. We don't use this one to howl for the golden wolf because it doesn't put the wolf in a spot that's as easily accessible. Because the one that we
Right.
howled at in near Iz's hut puts the golden wolf right outside Castletown, which we will be pretty soon. We will be there pretty soon, sorry. So it's kind of on the way. So I guess we kind of glossed over it because it's so normal to us now. But after getting the Goron Bomb bag, both of them did a trick called Rocket Link, where they pull a water bomb and force on a couple iron boots and then drop it instantly, and it just shoots them to the surface of the water.
Yep.
Which is the same kind of mechanic that they'll be using to refill the air in Morpheal and Zant later on.
Hopefully we don't see Rocket Link again. Hopefully we just see the air refill. So basically, if you drop the water bomb instantly,
Okay.
yeah. So well, I guess let's talk about this first. So what Nimzo just did was so normally you have to fight the Shadow Beast at the top of Snow Peak there, but by doing an LJ into the void, we can actually sort of hit a void out trigger that makes the game think that, like, oh, if we voided out that far out, then we must have been up on the hilltop. So it just respawns us up on the hilltop, and we can skip the Shadow Beast fight. But like I was saying before, if you drop the water bomb instantly, after doing something with water bombs, you'll shoot up to the surface. But if you actually wait a little bit, then you won't get Rocket Link and you'll just refill your air, which is what we will be using later in the Morpheal fight. But right now, you'll notice that while snowboarding down, it's actually really hard to see in front of us. And that's because, so normally fighting the Shadow Beasts and killing them will get rid of the fog. But if we skip it, then the fog remains. So it'll be a little bit more difficult to get down the mountain, but fortunately we have some visual cues for the difficult parts.
And lots of practice.
Yes.
It is not uncommon. Well, in fact, I'm sure they've both failed the snowboarding several times. But after a lot of practice, well, I hope they're both pretty confident with it now.
Yep.
Taking the shortcut that normally Yetta takes when you race. And interesting to note, on the GameCube version, doing blind snowboarding also means that the rupees and the keys and the little icicles, I guess, don't actually spawn in. So you can't get those rupees that are on the treetops or on that shortcut. On the Wii and HD version, you can. But the funny thing is, as well, with that, the hitboxes for the icicles are still there, so you can still bonk on them. Just you won't be able to see them, so it'll look like you've bonked on something invisible. Though, also, we shouldn't be seeing that here.
So, Nimzo going off to the left here, we're going to do an LJ over this void. We're not going to open the chest just as a heart piece. We're actually going to claw shut through the floor here, because normally you'd get to there from above and blow up the floor to get to the heart piece, but so there's no collision on the bottom. We can do some LJs here to get over to this small key, which we are going to use.
And pretty nice. As with lots of other games, I think. The small key you get in a dungeon you can use on any locked door in the dungeon, apart from the boss door, obviously.
Yep. So right there, Nimzo doing a trick called floor clip to just get past a piece of ice. And then right here, we are going to open the locked door here backwards. And then we are going to do freeze art skip here. So
also notice they're both basically only opening the right door of any two sets of doors, because it's almost a second. The Gale Boomerang not going out of bounds there for Kejs, so he voids out, takes the opportunity to drop some extra bombs, but that sucks.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, but not too big of a time loss. But yeah, so for freeze art skip, basically we can get damage invincibility, and then clip between the freeze art and the doors. And unlike a lot of other 3D Zeldas, like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, the loading zones aren't actually placed behind the doors in Twilight Princess. Getting to other areas is actually tied to opening the door themselves. So we actually, even though we get behind the freeze art, we actually still have to open the door. And it's also why Twilight Princess only has one boss key skip. And that boss key skip is in Lakebed, because in Lakebed Temple, the opening the boss door doesn't actually just take you right into the room. You actually have to drop down into the room, whereas every other dungeon, opening the door is what takes you into the room. So even if we can get behind the door, we still would have to open it.
And pretty unfortunate for Kejs, the second try at that LJA also failed, because the LJA clear past the chandelier, I guess it is. And so only having one heart was forced to LJA back over. So if he gets hit by Dark Hammer here, he will die. Which is unfortunate, because they were almost dead a minute apart entering Snow Peak, but pretty unfortunate Snow Peak for Kejs. And Nimzo having a very good Snow Peak.
So here, Nimzo is just finishing up dropping all of his bombs, and is going to open this chest to get water bombs, and now we have water bombs in our permanent bomb bag.
Our only bomb bag now, because safe warping after ball and chain removes it. The lent one. Now Kejs needs to not get hit by any of these bombs, not freeze himself on the ice, and then he'll be all good. Because save warping refills your health, so... Oh,
so right here,
hearts, that is.
Nimzo is doing the boss key skip. We can clip into this bridge, get in a specific spot, and then just clip into the room. So now coming up is Morpheal, and Simikins, I'll let you talk about that.
Morpheal, well, without Zora armor, definitely another of the hardest tricks in the game. Hardest tricks, hardest fights. Not easy. These water bombs I've got, similar to Rocket Link before, they're going to be using them to swim with them by unequipping iron boots and refilling their air, hopefully only twice. But Morpheal, she swims around the room kind of randomly, so can't always guarantee that. Luckily getting the bomb pull before the eye goes back into Morpheal. Hitting the eye with a strong attack, a jump attack, or a spin attack skips like the second mini part of that first phase where the little bomblings, the water bomblings, I can't remember what to call them, the bombfish, start swimming around. And he's actually going to be, he's floating upwards right now during this cutscene, so he can reach Morpheal from above.
Oh, Nimzo, unfortunately, dropping the bomb too late, and he's gonna have to sink down to refill his air. Yeah, you do have to drop the bomb before it explodes, otherwise your air won't get refilled. And Morpheal being really, really trolly right now, so Kejs is gonna save some time here over Nimzo.
She's just swimming directly away from him, basically. Also note, each of these bombs kind of has a planned use later in the run. So every time he uses another bomb and he just gets sucked up there, he'll still be able to grab her fine, but
yeah,
that's damage and time loss. Every bomb used is time loss later, because that's somewhere he'll have to substitute in, say, the ball and chain, or sword slashes instead of using a bomb. Yeah, basically, if Kejs can get a clean Morpheal, this can be even.
Okay, Nimzo just
nice
barely having enough time there. Yeah,
should be able to give the regrab. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Nimzo making it through without dying. Unfortunately, Morpheal was really, really just giving terrible RNG.
Yeah. After that mess up by dropping the bomb too late, Morpheal did not cooperate. Kej's going for one bomb.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. And he gets it. One bomb Morpheal.
Oh my
Grand
gosh.
finals of WolfDash 2. So that's what we hoped we wouldn't see people go for, because it is very risky.
Yes, you have to get very, very good luck and be very quick with your regrabs for that to work. So very, very, very nice from Kejsmaster.
I mean, I guess he did that because he knew how far behind he was, and one bomb saves about 15 seconds with a good two bombs, so...
Yeah,
wow.
So Kejsmaster and Nimzo are pretty close now. I don't know how far behind Kejsmaster is now, but definitely saved a lot of time from Morpheal there.
Yeah, so one bomb refill, you can only go for it if you get the maximum air from your first bomb drop and then get a really quick grab onto Morpheal, so that you have basically your entire air meter when you grab it for the first time.
Yep.
And then
honestly, you need more than your entire
first
air meter.
regrab. Yeah, if you can get the first regrab with the iron boots again, then you can unequip them again for a second regrab. But it's kind of hard to know if you'll be able to get the second regrab, because sometimes she can just deny you. So going for one bomb is also just kind of allowing Morpheal to decide.
Kejsmaster also skipping the heart piece.
Run goes. Yeah, so Nimzo gets, I think, just this one and the one in City. Get up to 5 for Palace. I think K's will be doing just 4 hearts for Palace, so he'll just be getting the one in City in the sky. But yeah, just 24 seconds apart now. Very damaging Morpheal for Nimzo. But a lead is still a lead. Yeah, and had he died, that would have been a huge swing, so he recovered it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
As I was saying
Nimzo-
before, each bomb wasted is time loss later.
Nimzo doesn't have to pick up bombs. There are other strats, and he will most likely be doing those. But he can pick up bombs in City if he really wants to, though that loses about 15 seconds as far as I know.
That bomb bag, sorry, that bomb chest in City is pretty slow. As long as he still has 2 left for Zant, he's kind of fine and won't need to pick up more, because those are the 2 water bombs that are required.
Yeah.
The others are just kind of bonus time save.
And I guess it'll be pretty interesting to see what strats Nimzo decides to go for and which ones he will use bombs for.
And
There isn't
after
really
getting
much
Morpheal,
to...
which is a pretty stressful part of the run, you get a nice long cutscene and then a nice slow segment in miniatures per hour. Kind of
Yeah, there
wind
isn't
down.
really much to talk about here, unfortunately. Though I know in the room that Nimzo's in right now, if you were to transform into human and go into the water, you actually wouldn't be able to get out. You're not normally supposed to have the Master Sword here. You would normally get it after Midness per hour. But yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why they made it like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Cool.
if you, it's really stupid. If you transform into human, you can't climb out of the water.
But he transforms to human here to use the lantern to burn that web instead of
Yes.
relighting another stick. And then, while the segment is pretty slow up until about now, there is some, I guess, risky or not simple time save. So he's gonna kill this Boblin so it doesn't shoot him down by knocking him into the water, and jump over here to skip some ropes. And that's kind of all we're gonna see along here. To try and save time, just getting off these ropes as soon as possible, or avoiding getting on them entirely.
Yep.
So here, there's a Bulblin up here. He's going to be jump attacking to him off the rope, and then skipping these ropes completely, and again jump attacking to the Bulblin.
That would be really unfortunate, Inada.
Yeah,
if it
there's a
came
lot
down
of
to
run
that.
left to go. It would be quite exciting for them to be close enough at that point for Zelda to matter, but there's a lot left to go. So the same
That
stuff from K's now, skipping
would
these
be
ropes.
really stressful.
and comfortably making the early win cycle.
Yep.
Nimzo did, and probably the same for Kejs, though Kejs does have a history of getting trolled by this bridge. Oh, actually, getting the leash grab. I probably
I actually don't
won't
think
be able to
Kejs
get early cycle now. Safer to just not try. But he tries anyway.
Unfortunately,
Well,
missing it.
not to be negative,
Oh.
but he does it. And because he got a good jump angle at the start.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
One back at the start. I mean, again, I know he knows he's behind, so he's trying to even it up, but that risk was definitely not worth it.
Unfortunately, Kejs losing about 40 seconds to missing that and being put back at the start. So I guess Kejs is back to about a minute behind, unfortunately. Though, as mentioned before, nimzo is going to lose some time to not being able to do all the bomb strats. So
Yeah, definitely not a minute though. He's still strongly in the lead.
yeah.
Nimzo doing a little ladder dance. And another interesting thing with that Golden Wolf that gives you ending blow, it'll always put you back where the first wolf should be, back in North Farron. So
Yeah,
after that, it
but
just warps straight
fortunately
back
for us,
to like Alia.
Yeah, fortunately, we immediately warp away, so it doesn't really matter.
Nimzo running into the plum cutscene.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And scaring fire as wolf.
So, Kejs should hopefully make up a couple seconds. You know, everything counts.
Oh, absolutely. There's no really big place where I'd expect a big time swing to happen now. Unless, I think Nimzo does attempt Death Orb skip now, so one of them could fail it for an hour and one of them could get it first try. Who knows?
Yep.
But now heading into Desert, Nimzo mentioned that he got the heart container just to refill his health. because he was so low from getting eaten by Morpheal. And also just making sure to have his camera panned outward, facing the ground to reduce lag, because Gerudo Desert is very laggy.
It's terrible. Like, if you put the camera forward, it's really noticeable.
It's like slow motion.
Yeah.
But fortunately, the minimap can give you a pretty good idea of where to go.
Yep.
And also, yeah, these boars you're normally supposed to use to break down the wooden barriers, but having gone to Snow Peak early, we can use the ball and chain to knock down the towers. They don't break those other wooden barriers, but that's not too much of a problem.
Yeah, because we can transform into wolf, and we can sort of clip past it by going to the side there, which is really convenient. And coming up right here is going to be Bulblin Camp Skip. So normally you have to go through and get a key and then open the gate to fight King Bulblin, but what we're going to do is map glitch to get rid of the void outloading zones, and the cutscene trigger that takes you into the King Bulblin fight actually goes infinitely up and infinitely down. So now that we've disabled the void out, we can get out of bounds and actually hit it from below, which saves quite a bit of time over going through the camp normally.
Also being careful to line up a jump attack, because
Yes,
it is possible to
missing
just
that.
completely miss, and in that case you'll just keep moving forward forever.
Yeah, so the only thing you can do, I believe, is save warp.
Nimzo playing it safe there. He's lining up much quicker. And getting
How
a perfect
does
King Bulblin fight.
comparing with splits work? I never really
They need to have
understood
the
it.
same split names.
Oh, okay. So if it has the same name, then it compares. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, so K's would have made it for a little bit of time there. Obviously from Plum, but also from that King Bulblin.
Oh, Zalux, do you need to have the same amount? Or just if it has the same name?
And here we get a peek at the preferences of equips. Also, 40 seconds apart entering arbiters. K's with clustered on Y, Nimzo with clustered on X. And the game would like you to believe here that you need to collect all 4 of these post holes to open this door back up, because they're being pretty dramatic about bashing themselves between the dungeon. But because of a neat little jump in the next room, you can actually skip the need to kill the very first one and open it with just 3 and kind of traverse the dungeon backwards. So I'm just going to ignore it, roll straight left. And depending on, I think he's going to just... Oh yeah, he doesn't have any bombs. He doesn't have enough bombs to be liberal with them, so he's going to ignore the Moldorms.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's still getting it first try. Fortunately, that trick is not too difficult. It used to be much more difficult because we had a different setup, but this new setup, it's pretty consistent and pretty easy.
Yeah, though, without detracting the Moldorms, it comes a little harder again because you have a pretty strict time limit on when you get your Gale throw, and they can also still just hit you or disturb you. But Kay's also getting it first try clean.
And in case skipping killing the Moldorms, even though he has enough bombs.
Yeah, saving on that equip. Don't want to waste time in the menu.
So on the 4th Poe here, there's a little bit of RNG manipulation that we can do to just make the fight a little bit faster. And fortunately, looks like Nimzo got it.
Got some bad luck on the spins though. Can't manipulate that.
Yeah.
So normally in this dungeon you're supposed to kill the first Poe and get the Poe-cent from that, which allows you to dig up a chain to get to the next one. But you can actually get the Poe-cent from any of them. So he has to get it from this one.
Yep.
Which allows him to continue through the dungeon without the first one.
Case also getting the RNG manipulation. And so right here is where some of that time save would come in. If they got 60 rupees at the start, they wouldn't have to get this chest here with a red rupee.
Nimzo getting hit off that pillar, I guess, early by that bubble, allowing him to get to the reader quicker. But he still has to wait for it to die because he needs that rupee.
And I don't know if Nimzo equipped bombs there out of habit, or if he is planning on using them on the Stalfos. I don't know if that would be the best use of them. I know I personally would save them for Hyrule Castle. But I don't know if Nimzo may not know the ball and chain strat. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, I didn't pay close attention to the bomb count, but he might opt to use 2 here and then skip the first barrier in Hyrule Castle with an LJA.
Does Nimzo do that normally?
Well, Nimzo would normally have enough bombs, but
Yeah.
not sure what that pause was. But
My guess is Nimzo mashes start out of whenever he loses control of Link, and which includes opening the doors, so probably just went a little early. Dumb little time loss.
Yeah, so I think Kejs is slowly making time back.
Yep.
Yeah, after killing this red, that'll be the last red rupee needed to get to 300.
Yep.
All those greens there, useless. He's going for the faster mid charge, but missing
But
and
unfortunately
getting
missing,
stunned by
yep.
the red. And he also now is up to 300.
Yes. So both of them are set to get into city.
Mid charge missed the Poe, but
Yeah, that was
matter.
close. So now Nimzo is going to, instead of heading off to the right, where you would normally go in a casual playthrough, we're going to be going off to the left. And we're going to do some Wolf B attacks to get around that pillar and actually make it to the boss key early. And then from here, we are just going to go through the dungeon backwards, pretty much. Which is quite a bit faster than going the other way around.
I'm transforming Wolf here to hop over the stand.
Yep.
Which you can get through here as human with some really cool strats, but also really hard and very easy to fail, so I'm not going to be seeing any of that. And this one here, you basically have to be.
So it seems like Nimzo is going
Using
to
two bombs
use the
here.
bombs here.
So I guess he's skipping all the uses in Hyrule Castle.
Yes. That or
And
getting the chest in
Equipping
city.
ball and
but-
chain. So I don't expect we'll see Tesla skip, which will give Kejs a chance to catch up a bit more.
Yep. So we have the ball and chain. Normally you're not supposed to have that, but it does a ridiculous amount of damage to Death Sword. So for this first phase, maybe Nimzo is
Still
going
doing
for
the B attacks on phase 1. Maybe he is going for Tesla skip? I don't know. Okay, I guess
looks like he is.
equipped ball and chain just in case. So definitely getting stuck. It is possible to back it up, but alright, second try. No slash. 49 ahead entering Death Sword. If he gets this, Kejs can still make up some time. Okay, first try.
Very, very nice. And
Kind of
unbuffered too.
Unbuffered, no slash, but Death Sword got stuck once. So Kejs can make up some time right now.
Yep. But still very, very nice from Nimzo there.
Checking, making sure he has the ending blow. Wasn't sure.
But yeah, that trick is very, very precise. It's position precise, and I
Not getting
believe
stuck for Kejs.
depending on your position, you only have a couple of frames.
That Okay, you got it.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting that to work. Alright,
It looked
very, very
lag,
nice
but
from
he does
Case
it
as well.
differently, so I can't judge. So now, 43 seconds separate them. 44, sorry.
So after getting the spinner, we just save warp faster than going back to the dungeon by quite a bit. So yeah, and then now we're gonna be heading off to Stalord, which is terrible.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
So getting to Salad, pretty simple given we've already got the spinner. Doing the second half is difficult, so Sable just avoids that. Just have to spin all these platforms and doors and rails and all that to get access. Nimzo, in the water bomb, there's an underwater chest in the pond that you first land in. Yeah, trust what Eka says, because I'll give you the wrong direction.
No, it's not up left. It's down left. Or
What
wait.
will say?
Hold on.
There's 2 underwater chests in
I'll check. I'll check
the
real.
first spot
I'll
in the
check
city.
real quick. I'm
One of them
pretty
has a
sure.
ruby, one of them has bombs.
It's back right. Back left from save file. Okay. Yeah, it's
a bit, but still managed to get that second hit.
It's back right.
Barely missing, and then getting hit by Star Wars. So. Again, chance for Case to catch up, and then they're racing against that little, I don't know what to call it, little gyro. Not the tidiest Star, but he's through the second phase.
Yeah, it's RNG where the guys pop up, so and you just kind of have to get lucky.
Get lucky and react fast.
Yeah, Case getting
Zelda didn't give him any
unlucky there
to bounce off from. That was a very good pickup.
That was very nice. So Case is saving about 20 seconds there.
Yeah, they're only 27 seconds apart now, entering the second phase. Nimzo bonked on Sailor's head as well, because where you end up after this phase of the fight depends on where you hit him from, I think. So you have to go around Sailor's head. And second phase, possible to hit him down early if they both get the right timing, which I'd hope they would, but let's see. So I'm going to do 5 rolls, wait for a cue, he will use music for the sound of Stella shooting, and hit him down early just like that. And
Very
it's
nice.
a pretty trivial one cycle.
Yeah, just some quick spins.
Spamming spins.
And during this, I'm gonna go grab some water real quick, so I'll be right
No
back.
problem. He's also getting it, and hopefully the one cycle as well. So they basically had an identical Stalwart apparently, because still 27 seconds apart.
Alright.
And I expect they'll both be skipping the heart container. So 157.34 for Nimzo.
which is a pretty good time to end arbiters.
Yeah, I mean, for them, not so great. In general, that's pretty good. And they're both definitely on pace for sub 3.
Yep.
And K's with a 158.01.
Yeah, so both of them, if they have a good run to the end, should be on sub 3 pace. A really, really good run from the end of arbiters to the end is about an hour.
Yeah, so they can both get 57 if they play really on point.
Yep.
But yeah, wow. So from the start, K's missed Sword and Shield skip twice. Nimzo missed Gorge Void. Lots of stuff in between.
Nimzo had a pretty bad
terrible
Morpheal.
And K's got one bomb.
Morpheal's bad, man.
K's then voided, trying the early win cycle, and he got spawned back at the start. And both of them got Death Sword skip. And after all of that, 27 seconds apart. And again, if K's can win this race, he's won WolfDash. If Nimzo wins this race, he's pushed it to
We're gonna have to have another
match.
one. But so right there, what Nimzo did, it's kind of dumb, really. We can just sort of go up to the statue and transform and get through it just like that, and skip beating Snow Peak, skip beating Temple of Time, and the Skybook quest, which is just a ton of time save. It's honestly probably one of the biggest sequence breaks.
K's missing it actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is the biggest sequence break. And fortunately for us, Nintendo decided to make it so that you, to get into Palace of Twilight, you actually only need the last shard. All we will have to do is beat City in the Sky, and then we will be able to get into Palace of Twilight.
Yep, we're in the end game. So actually Nimzo going to be losing a bit of time here because I think he's intending to grab these water bombs.
Yeah, Nimzo, I don't know if you've gotten them yet, but if you can hear us, once again, back right from out of the cutscene.
Yeah, which I guess he could have avoided had he saved on bombs and arbiters.
Yeah.
But I guess he doesn't want to risk only having 2 for Zant.
I don't think that's it. I think it's just he wants to be able to do the strats in Hyrule Castle.
Alright, we gave him the right instructions.
All
Now
right.
he has a full bomb bag and can do every strat he wants, so that's good.
Yep.
But that bomb bag, oh, that bomb chest is not quick.
Also, I don't know how much it matters, but I think it would have been faster for Nimzo to actually stay in the water there. So he wouldn't have had to roll against the wind. I'm not sure about that, though.
He's going to use these extra bombs to go for a TAS-only trick twice.
So in my opinion, City in the Sky is one of the coolest dungeons in a speedrun, and it's one of the most fun to do, honestly, because it's pretty much just a giant LJA playground, because there's just void everywhere.
They're 9 seconds apart. Oh my god. Every counts now. That block for Nimzo, that's gonna hurt.
The door that they entered, after doing the LJAs, what they did, it's pretty hard to notice, but what they did was they opened the door as far away as possible, to actually get past a trigger that's right in front of the door, that would make a fan start spinning in the central room there. And by skipping that trigger, they are actually going to be able to get the boss key early later, instead of having to go through a bunch of extra rooms. So I guess I'll just point that out when we get there.
And now, after getting that small key, the game really wants you to see this cutscene of Argarok breaking the bridge. So, if he save warps now, he'll get put back by that small key chest. And that's only just kind of more convenient movement, as well as watching a cutscene is slow. So they're going to just skip watching this cutscene, which will keep their respawn point. Kejsmaster having to go for the backup one cycle. Still skipping it just fine. So now when they save after double claw shots, they'll be put back by that small key rather than at the start of the dungeon.
So right here you'll notice, oh, well I guess Nimzo didn't go for it, but it's actually possible to get off the spinner just a little bit before the bridge gets to the other side, and you can save a little bit of time that way. Yes, what Case did right there. So you can just get off the spinner early, save like a second or two. And right here, another LJA.
I think they go for some different strats in this next room. Nimzo's gonna do, I think, LJA, then jump slash.
Yep.
And then another LJA. And another LJA. Whereas Case is gonna LJA twice. And then jump slash over to this corner. And then LJA right with this door frame.
Yep.
Doing the two-handed grab where it doesn't matter. And they're equipped the dead opposite. I love it. Okay, he's missing. I guess he's trying to drop off
Yeah.
the Also target early.
Possible to drop off those chandeliers. 1 frame before the you have 1 frame to drop off before the cutscene starts to just save a teeny tiny little bit of time.
Doesn't even matter there though. Because you
Actually,
still wait
yeah,
for the
it
cycle.
doesn't there, because you still have to wait for the cycle of the fans.
And just here you can skip turning on another one of the fans by jumping just this ledge. So 15 apart right now.
Yep.
But your alpha skip is coming up, and it is not an easy trick to do when nervous. I'm doing the sword slice setup. And
Yeah, so right here it's
it first
possible
try.
to, yes, very nice. So it's possible to skip this fight here, but it is quite difficult. It's position
roll setup.
Yeah, it's position precise,
first try.
and I believe, yes, very nice. I believe I've heard that I've always thought that it was just. I'm not really sure. But yeah, the point is it's very, very, very precise. So props to both of them for getting it first try.
Yeah, as you see here now, both back at that small key chest. And from skipping turning on the fan, as Braggles mentioned earlier, they can just go straight to the boss key without doing the entire second half of the dungeon.
Yep.
So funny to note there, at that text box, double claw shots, Nimzo is saved about a second over K's because German has 3 text boxes on double claw shot. So, for some reason, the segment from claw shots to the end of city is K's favourite. Well, maybe not favourite, but one of his best segments. So he'll definitely be trying to, as with the entire run, trying to make some time back on Nimzo, who is yet to fall behind K's. It's been very close for the last little while, but Nimzo has been ahead from the very start.
Yeah, so right there, the fan that Case just got past, same one Nimzo went past, that's the fan that we stopped from blowing at the start of the dungeon.
Avoiding bonking on that door frame with an LGA further to the right.
Yep.
Oh no!
Oh,
missing landing
unfortunately,
on the
Nimzo
fan and
avoiding there.
out.
Gonna give Case some.
Give him the lead actually.
Looks like
for the first time.
Case now has the lead. Oh boy.
So 2 hours, 11 minutes in, finally K's makes back the deficit from the start. Again, skipping turning on these fans. Oh my god, they're basically dead synced. Both getting one-handed grabs. Doing LJs and claw shots over these fans rather than turning them on.
Yep.
Alright, this room, all these fans are on a cycle. So, if they can get through fast, hopefully they'll make it on the quickest cycle possible, but even one small mistake will cost them about 10 seconds probably from not making the earliest cycle possible. Both going well so far. Kay should make this comfortably.
Yes. Alright, very nice.
Nimzo barely misses. Oh no, he got it. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, this is a close race.
Wow. 3 seconds apart.
And right here, Case having to move to the
And
side a
he's
little
back in
bit
the lead.
there. Oh man. Yeah, so that's called Rob Shot. Just skips claw shotting onto the grating and then climbing up the vines.
Yeah, I did not think after what happened at the start that we'd be in for a race like this, but here we are.
Yep. Oh my gosh. This is very, very close.
Yeah, anyone coming in late? This race started out with Kejsmaster missing a sword and shield skip twice, and then nimzo missing Gorge Void, and then slowly, Kejs has brought back that about a minute and a half deficit, though about a minute of that was thanks to more fuel. And yes, this is extremely close.
Case taking the lead. Oh
Back
my
and forth.
gosh.
They're rolling further than necessary to close it up to that pillar. Now they're in sync though. Both going for the faster flame skip, lowering themselves in the chain.
Oh my gosh.
It's the same video!
It's the same thing. Are there any text saves from German after this?
No major ones that I'm aware. I mean, you don't really get any more items from here. This last flame is a little different. Argarot tries to catch on, turn around mid-flame, they don't really care. They're just gonna wait. Dip right
Oh
under the
yeah.
flame.
Jaquade is right. It's not the same video. They have backwards equips.
Well, apart from the equips and language and nimzo having an extra heart, they are literally frames apart at the end of City in the Sky. This is unreal. Again, if Kejs wins this race, he has won. He won winners finals. He is in winners side of grand finals. Nimzo lost to K's in winners finals. Defeated Adam in losers finals, so now he's in losers side of grand finals. If he wins this, then they have to race again. Yeah, they both better have .done already typed in and just have to hit enter. I would not be surprised if Zelda does not actually decide it and Nerves decide it, because with races this close, someone's gonna make a mistake.
Oh man, come on, don't remind Nimzo.
Let's go English.
Nimzo pulling ahead.
Yeah, DB, give us the frames. How many frames on Light Sword? How many frames on Small Key? Jump slashing onto the Spirit with Iron Boots to warp. Nimzo getting the faster warp, but didn't actually get his map out in time. Case takes the lead.
So both of them are gonna transform before entering Palace here, because Midna talks to us a couple times, and having Midna on Wolf Link's back is a little bit faster than having her come up out of Link's shadow. And we also save some time from Wolf movement, because dashing is a bit faster than rolling.
Though, remember, Case has 4 hearts, Nimzo has 5. 4-heart Palace can be very risky. So he's much more susceptible to being trolled if he doesn't manage to pick up hearts along the way. Kay's making it right to the chest before the cutscene started. Nimzo getting stuck behind it.
Quite unfortunate, but losing another couple seconds.
Is that what we're saying now? Every 2-second time loss? Ah, that decided it. Oh no. Bad Zant spawn? Zant. Oh no, that decided it. He's not quite quick
He's
enough on
getting
that first
kind
round.
of trolled here.
Has to kill that last vermin before he'll throw another one. And the lead's back for Nimzo.
Yep.
That's right, that decided it. That decided the race. Might have thrown that soul too far. I can't hear his game feed.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
Okay,
that's fine.
we got it. Nice brake slide.
Only 1.5 hearts for Kejs. Should be fine.
Yeah, he'll probably be fine. Four Heart Palace isn't really too bad with practice. Just have to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, you're just more susceptible to bad luck. Just killing you, basically. L sliding past the trigger for some vermin to fall. Putting iron boots on, taking them off too late. That decided it.
Case unfortunately
Kejs hitting the
slided
trigger.
past the trigger, but still able to maneuver around the shadow vermin.
Hope you'll like Nimzo's Windows sounds. That's one frame roll. LJing instead of using the platform, just faster.
Yep.
Now, let's see how this room treats them.
Yeah,
If they play it
so
right, they should be able to make it to the Zant head just fine. No matter where it spawns.
yeah, but where the Zant head
control you.
spawns is RNG. So hopefully they
Delaying
get
the
good luck.
spawn.
Yeah.
Should be-
So
should be able to
there,
make it.
you delay the spawn so that all the platforms sort of line up.
Nice on both of them. That spawn that K's got actually can be a bit annoying since you can't really jump attack him because the sword will clank. So it's kind of a quick spin test because if you oh no, Nimzo missing one of the shadow beasts.
Oh no!
That decided it. The Key's getting it on reaction too.
Nimzo getting quite trolled here,
Okay, this time.
unfortunately, but
So K's taking back the lead. Nimzo doing the C-up transform but still making it to the target in time.
yep.
Missed the Spidey shot on K's side. Nimzo got it.
Nimzo getting it. Very, very nice.
Barely behind now. Hopefully, they don't have the same problem as before. So I guess Case couldn't hear where Zant was, because normally, if you have headphones or
Yeah.
surround speakers, I guess you can hear which direction he spawns in. Yeah, he found him quickly that time. And they're doing a stab and 2 spins to make him start attacking again in the next phase instantly. Case saving a frame on each of these spins, clockwise over anti-clockwise. Nimzo messing up one of the spins actually, so he has to do an extra cycle. Don't dance game the fastest spin.
Yeah, and don't Dan's game rang on X. Yeah, see, Zach gets it.
Yeah, the light field's pretty trivial. Though, Kay's getting hit by that Keys on the way up.
Yeah, ball and
Only
chain
one
on
heart
Y.
now.
See, I would say both Boomerang and Claw go on Y, but Claw going on Y trumps Boomerang on Y.
The important discussions that we have in Palace of Twilight.
Yes.
Yeah, try and get a heart from the Keys here. Missed him with the Gale, so he's gonna have to make do. Dude, imagine only having 2 equip slots. Come on. You flip the item you want to B, and you leave iron boots on D-pad down.
So right there, both of them drop the soul before going to the platform, because running with the soul is slow, and we can just claw shot it once we're on the platform.
I think K's might get a heart from the pot here. Or not. Don't listen to me. Nimzo missing a slash. Trying to time his rolls too perfectly.
Unfortunately, gonna lose a little bit of time to that.
Killing one of the vermin with the soul throw. Yeah, he's missing that heart. I think he's gonna try and get it anyway. Waste time. Yeah, so rather than LJ, I can take that heart. Because he really needs it. Nimzo missing it as well. Okay, no, he gets it just fine.
Nimzo still having time to LJ,
Oh wow,
though.
Case managed to get completely refilled from the Zant heads.
And there's
both in
another
good shape
LJ
now.
right here.
Both of them kind of forcing each other to do every fast strat possible, because if they don't, the other person's going to pull ahead.
Yep.
Nimzo going for the LJA. Try and make back some time. Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. That LJ is pretty tough in SD. Or at least it's
like
tougher than it is in HD because
less than a
of
second.
sword recall. Yeah, it doesn't save a lot of time, so most people don't go for it.
Both
Yeah.
looking good to make the early spawn cycle. Well, early, the quick one. Yep, K's made it. Good.
Nimzo also getting it, very nice.
Oh boy. Early platform room. Both of them should get it. Calling Minna to delay the movement of the platform while the Shadow Beast is still preparing to spawn.
Yeah, there's a platform at the top of this room. It's on a cycle. We want to land on the platform.
K's doing the LJA. I know Nimzo doesn't do that. And K's probably not going to grab the ledge here because in his PB he tried to and fell. Nimzo taunting him by grabbing the ledge. Oh, getting this out here with the jump slash even. Both of them making early cycle very cleanly.
Yes.
"11 seconds ahead is K's.
Yeah, so in this room here, the Shadow Beasts always spawn at the same time in the same place. So you just have to memorize the pattern.
Former set from Nimzo, 15 seconds behind entering Zant. Where there are some difficult strats, so it's possible to one cycle the Forest Temple phase. No one does that. Possible to one cycle the Goron Mines phase. They'll both be going for it, but it's only a 2-frame window. Something's out with the boomerang. Only the last slash of the combos really matters to advance to the next phase. Casing
Yeah,
a lot
so
of
they can
hops
start
there.
doing the combos early.
Nimzo's on NTSC, Case is on PAL, but almost all of the time save from language is been and gone.
Case getting
Case
it.
hitting the one
Very,
cycle.
very nice.
Nimzo kind of has to if he wants to keep up.
Yep.
Also getting it.
Very nice. Both of them getting it. So here on the water phase, we have to use water bombs to refill our air.
K's still 15 ahead. Maybe more now. Yeah, this is where the other hard requirement for water bombs if you skip your armor. So you can see Nimzo has 15.
Yeah, and
because of getting the extra chest.
the Zant head that Zant spawns in is always the furthest one away from you after a certain point of them coming up out of the water. Or I guess out of the ground. So we can always know which Zant head he's going to spawn in.
Yeah, they both have far too many bombs. K's because of not using them in arbiters and getting one bomb, Nimzo because of using too many and getting an extra chest.
Yeah, Case has just been skipping uses for the meme.
Targeting preemptively for that equip to move the cursor on the menu quicker. Oh, and chain to knock Zant down. It's a little faster.
And
Yeah, pretty clean fight for both of them.
on the Blitzetta phase here, most people think you have to wait till Zant is like super tiny, but you can actually start hitting him when he's about half size.
Yeah, after
really
7
really
hops is when you can start hitting him. Nimzo preparing the Triforce pots. Final phase, you want to purposely avoid hitting Zant with the slashes until the third hit. I didn't see what happened on K's side. Okay, at
Yeah,
least he
I'm
traded.
not sure, but that was really weird.
That
but
fight can spiral out of control really quickly.
knocked him into the barrier. That's unfortunate.
Well, that's some time save for Nimzo. 8 seconds apart at the end of Palace. Hyrule Castle is going to be very interesting. They both have plenty of bombs for every bomb strat.
It's really looking like it's going to come down to Zelda, unfortunately.
Yeah, Zelda's going to be pretty key in this race. I really hope they both get either really good or really terrible, just as long as it's the same.
Yeah. I would hate for Zelda to actually be the decider of this run.
Again, if you haven't heard me say it already, if K's wins this, he's in winner's side, the tournament is over and he has won. If Nimzo wins this race, then he puts K's in loser's side, where Nimzo already is, resets the bracket, and might have another match. Small mailman skip there. Nimzo doing some interesting aim. Yeah, whatever the outcome, this race has been incredible. Definitely did not expect it to go like this after the start.
Yep. So,
No, Nimzo, no throwing. You better just beat him fair and square so we can do this again.
So right here's the Squidna cutscene. It's a really, really long cutscene. Yeah, this is usually where most people take a bathroom break. Alright, and with that cutscene out of the way, we will be heading into Hyrule Castle.
And they both better be on point.
Yep.
This barrier, super simple. Pull one bomb, do nothing.
Yep.
Nimzo with some slightly unorthodox equips, but both of them having iron boots prepared, because after killing King Boblin, there is one frame where you can backflip or put on iron boots or slide up or something, and save warp before Minotaur C, which saves a few seconds. And having iron boots is, for one, easier to mash than a backflip, but also it means that you can go for both a backflip or the iron boots if they want. So I'm pretty sure they'll both just be mashing.
Very good fight from Case.
Same for Nimzo, it seems like.
Yep. Yes, very good fight from both of them.
Case doesn't get it.
Unfortunately.
Nimzo gets it.
Nimzo does. So Nimzo's going to save, I believe it's about 3 seconds.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is really, really, really close.
Three seconds apart. Oh
gosh.
my lord. Another barrier
Right
skip
here.
here. Jump attacking into the corner.
Yep. Very simple.
Using iron boots to drop faster, because they have them equipped already from the attempted one-framer.
Yep.
Nimzo's D-pad giving him trouble. Going to the left door, notably, doesn't matter on this one, he's still going to come out the right door.
Yeah, Hyrule
Good
Castle
platform
is
case.
weirdly the only place that it doesn't matter which door you choose.
Yeah, and most of the doors, some of them it does, but the ones that go like between loading zones, I guess. Kay's almost missing that.
Almost.
And it's actually possible to clip into that step if you grab the leads like that at the same time as you get the Gale Boomerang to come back. So this one, right door matters.
Yes. You're right.
Don't clip out of bounds. Very good. The bombs just do huge damage to the Lizalfos.
Yeah, so we can just go in the corner there and use the boomerang against the wall.
Using Ball and Chain to kill Lizalfos. Aerofos, sorry.
Fortunately, Case getting a little unlucky there, but still able to kill the Aeralphos quickly.
Both of the same slip. And they've got a slightly better fight. Yeah, what a race. Please don't let Zelda decide. Please make one of them just play better. On the Wii version, because Link is right-handed, it's faster to use the left door most of the time. Same with Skyward Sword.
Alright, so tower is pretty standard. There aren't any skips or anything except for one at the very end.
I mean, right here they're just rushing straight through rather than following the proper path, trying to roll off the blocks before they fall. Nimzo's trying to rush the course of them, knowing he's behind. Kej picking up the skull. No voids for both of them.
Yep, very good. And right here at the end, yeah, we can claw shot the lantern there, and get past the barrier. Pretty easy.
Three seconds apart.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, Zelda, please. Please. I'm still trying to equip and messing up a little.
Nimzo's deep pad has been giving him some trouble, unfortunately. Come on,
So-
Zelda, please be nice.
If you're not familiar, Zelda has 3 types of attacks: Energy Ball, Stab, and Triforce Attack. The Energy Ball is the only one you can damage her with, both of them getting a good start. The lowest possible number of cycles is 7, the highest is... I think the highest thing is like 16, but theoretically it can go infinitely. You need the Light Ball on the 1st, the 3rd, and the 7th cycle. There's always a minimum gap of 1 and then 3 between the 1st and then the 2nd and the 3rd
Yep.
energy balls, so both of them having an identical Zelda so far. Nimzo preparing the pots. Both on pace for an 8 cycle.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, okay, now we're... There's some divergence. Okay.
Okay, getting some Triforce attacks. They're
It's
a little
still
slower.
literally the same thing though. Audi got constantly Audi got no tricycle yet, but instead Nimzo's attack times were quite a lot faster. Now his was so much slower. Jesus.
Is this a 9 cycle now?
There's Audi.
Roll for K's. And for Nimzo. No,
No!
Nimzo gets a stab.
Oh, unfortunate.
It's gonna take a mistake from K's to even this up.
Yep.
Okay, and there's the light ball, so about 15 seconds lost from there.
Alright, so
About 25 behind.
And on Beast Ganon here, we can do attacks in a very specific way to get him to only give us 1 portal at the very end.
Okay, 12 seconds apart. So, sorry, I interrupted you.
That's fine. But yeah, basically, by doing specific amounts of damage towards the end of the fight here, Beast Ganon will be a little bit faster.
Nimzo does slightly faster strats here on Beast Cannon than K's. Going in the corner here,
But that's frames,
and
right?
the side hop. I mean, at this point, everything counts, right?
Yeah. So this actually might come down to just Zelda missing an arrow.
That is true. Zelda could miss arrows on horseback.
And it is kind of unfortunate for Nimzo, because the two time losses that he had over Audi were mostly RNG. But yeah.
I mean, Morpheal, it was his fault for dropping the bomb late, and
Yeah.
then bad RNG.
And then bad RNG, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like 50-50.
Alright, horseback here.
Arrow shots, 12 apart.
Yeah, so horseback here, there are a couple different patterns Ganondorf can give in terms of movement.
Decent pattern
But
for
Some
Audi.
are easier, and some are harder. This
Yep.
one seems pretty good.
This was the slower-ish, but decently easy pattern for Audi.
Nimzo also getting a good pattern.
And Audi got
He's
it.
not missing any arrows.
Audi got it.
That should be it for K's.
Yep, that's it.
So, unless Case chokes the final fight. Nimzo also landing all of his arrows. Very nice.
I mean, it's still
GG,
it's still
Zeph.
not over.
So, Zeph,
It's not over yet.
Zeph, what if you jinx it? And actually, Audi now messes up... But thank you, Zeph. I appreciate it.
Oh, and Audie's gonna leave the text up. So on German here, you don't have to go through this text here.
So is this? This is this is less than a 5.6, more than a 5.6 second difference.
The stream just synchronizing for me so I can't see.
Audie messed up.
Audie!
I can't see it. It's synchronizing.
You should still have the win here, and it looks like he does. GG.
GG.
Oh my gosh. This
Kejsmaster
was an
takes WolfDash
insane...
2.
4 seconds. Whew. Congratulations, Kejsmaster, on winning the second edition of the Twilight Princess Any Percent WolfDash Tournament Series. Dang! I want a second game of this! Wait, wait. Hot take. Nimzo started out with a 5.6 second disadvantage. They only finished 4 seconds apart, so Nimzo won.
My gosh.
No.
This actually came down... Holy shit, this actually came down to German version.
Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous.
That's incredible. And
Yeah.
I know Kejsmaster will be very happy to have won. He was determined from the very start to be the one to take it. And taking it confidently through grand finals, through winner side grand finals. And I wasn't around at this point, but WolfDash won. Kejsmaster came in second.
Yep.
This time he won.
Very, very nice.
It was a slightly slimmer or not as top-heavy participant field this time, but it was like a field of people that really improved quite a bit during the tournament. So yeah, this is quite a big achievement.
Yeah, like I think Nimzo is the biggest example of that.
Yeah.
At the start of the tournament, he had just gotten sub 3. Now he's got a 55.
Yep.
So at the end of that, first place Kejsmaster, second place Nimzo, third place Adam, WolfDash 2.
Incredible
Done.
runs from everybody. But yeah, I guess that's the end of WolfDash. I hope everyone enjoyed watching.
I'm a little sad because this has definitely been a big boost for Twilight Princess. The game's been so active lately.
Yep.
Of course, in part thanks to this race. But I hope that continues, and I hope everyone who enjoyed this will keep watching Twilight Princess runs because they're going to continue. And I know specifically these two are both still trying to improve their PBs. Kejsmaster with a 54, 40 something, 54, 43. Nimzo with a 5509. Nimzo wants 54, Kejs wants 53.
Definitely go and follow both of them on Twitch. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
It's fine. But yeah, we are looking at Midna right now. I'm not doing the sexy Midna voice that kind of became famous through a certain runner of this game, because I'm not good at it. But yeah, WolfDash HD, I heard. Well, if you find me 12 runners that sign up for WolfDash HD, we're doing it. But yeah,
Maybe let the new route settle for a bit first, though, eh? But yeah, wow. I don't expect Nimzo will want to come on for an interview. But K's maybe?
no, it doesn't look like it. All right, folks.
Or not.
I hope you all enjoyed this. It was one heck of a race right here, coming down to
Yeah, what a grand finals.
yeah, coming
Yep.
down to frames in the middle, and RNG in the end. Thank you all for watching. And before we leave, let me quickly find a raid target, because I forgot. But we are gonna find someone that we're going to raid. Oh, you know what? We're raiding this guy, because he's a good guy. Alright, folks. Thank you all for watching. And take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having us. Thank you, ZSR, for hosting WolfDash 2. It's been a blast.
Yep.
I almost forgot. Broggle, Simikins, a billion thank yous to you two for doing so much of the commentary. Thank you so much.
My
You kept
pleasure.
us alive.
Yeah,
And with
I
that-
enjoyed it a whole lot.
See you soon.